Hi everyone, my name is Lais Bosco and I'm a senior at Friends. I'm studying visual communications and I'm also an international student from Brazil. And I'm really excited to be here today because I'm going to be interviewing Megan Hartzell. And I work with her at Downtown Wichita as a multimedia intern. So I'm really happy to have her here. Hi Megan, how are you?
Hi, Lais. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm
Do you want
excited to talk to you.
to? I'm super excited. Do you want to introduce yourself for the people that are watching us?
Sure, yeah. So, my name is Megan Hartzell, and I am Director of Communications for Downtown Wichita, which is an economic development nonprofit that is focused on revitalizing downtown.
Awesome. Do you want to talk a little bit more about what you do there? What do you do at your work and how do you impact downtown and Wichita community?
Sure. So, like I said, my title is Director of Communications, and I'm on a team of about 4 to 5 communications members, and we each have different specialties, and mine is specifically anything and everything for downtown Wichita. We have 3 key areas of focus, which are developing downtown, marketing downtown, and enhancing vibrancy. So I offer support for my coworker that does development, creating presentations, creating maps. We have a list of every project completed in downtown since 2010 on our website, as well as everything that's under construction and in planning. And you can find tons of amazing development information on our website. So I offer marketing support for that. For the enhancing vibrancy, we do different programming and placemaking and events and fun stuff like that. We do weird and funky pop-ups, pretty much anything and everything. If you've seen the big Bigfoot statue that's been traveling around downtown for the holiday season, he's currently in an art installation, stuff like that, just anything to catch your eye. And so I offer marketing support for that as well. And then, truly it's anything and everything downtown, from where to live, properties that are available for sale and lease, how to get around, transportation needs like the scooters and the bikes, promoting that. So I create digital and print pieces. I write copy. I do our social media and website management. So I feel like I could keep going, but I think that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, it's really awesome because when I moved to Wichita, like I used to like go downtown, but I never knew like who was behind like all the events and everything. So I think it's really nice that you're here today, talking about it because people can like know who is like behind of the graphics and the things that was like the website. And you can find pretty much everything on the website. When I go to Final Friday, First Fridays, I find everything there, so it's really fun. And yeah, we really appreciate your work.
Thank you. Thank you. I love it. I could talk about it for days.
Awesome. So you're a Friends alumni.
Yes.
Can you share with us why did you pick Friends and your major and everything that you can think of?
Sure. Yeah, so I born and raised in Wichita. I grew up here and I went to a pretty small high school, and I am an introvert, pretty hardcore. So I did not want to go to a big school. When I went on visits, I was like, oh boy, I'm panicking. I'm freaking out. Like there's too many people. And I just really like kind of that smaller, more intimate classroom setting, and just getting to know people more, and just I was just very overwhelmed with the setting of a big school.
Mm-hmm.
So Friends was perfect, and it just felt like a very natural fit for me. And I saw that there were opportunities there to grow. And Karen Scroggins actually was a big part of it. When I met with her, I just clicked with her instantly. And she's just so kind and so nice. And I really enjoyed chatting with her. And she was my advisor my entire 4 years. And so I'd say that relationship was also another big reason why I ended up there.
Mm-hmm.
Did I
Yeah.
answer your question?
Yes, it did.
Okay, good.
I feel that we kind of have the same thing because when I came here from like another country and I came here and visit friends, and that's how I felt. It was just like moving from another culture and then coming here, friends just really welcomed me. And I think the professors, it was a big thing. They were also really nice, and they met like my family, so it was really cool. And then I really love that small environment and the feeling like of community. So
Yes.
yeah, so I shared the same thing with you.
Yeah.
And how graduating from Friends helped you to get the job, the position that you are today?
Yeah, so I believe the end of my sophomore year, around that time, I started working in the marketing communications office at Friends as a student worker. And that was a huge, massive opportunity that really, I feel like, changed everything. The experience that I got there, and the support and mentorship from not just the person I reported directly to, but everybody who worked in that office. I think there were 4 or 5 people at the time, was just truly phenomenal, and like really, I think is why I was able to have the job that I have now, was just from being with them for 3 years. And I mean, I learned so much about just the intricate details in design. And wouldn't say I'm a very detail oriented person. You definitely tend to be more creative and not really pay attention to those details. And I learned a lot there about, about that and how the process really works, and taking a project from start to finish and everything in between. Like, especially when it comes to print projects, I learned so much about that there, and social media. I remember one of my favorite projects. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much about this. I had a really good time there, so I could talk about it a long time.
Awesome.
But one of my favorite projects was social media. And I feel like Friends was just kind of starting to really get into social media at the time. And so I got to try a bunch of fun different things. And one of my favorite things was to go to the campus store in Casado and go to get a bunch of like pens and pencils and sweatshirts and set it all up all cute in my little like studio thing that I had with a nice white background, and market the merch. I really loved doing that.
That's so cool.
I bought a lot of merch during that time.
That's really awesome. Yeah, I work at Friends too. I work at the marketing, but I'm the videographer, the student videographer there, and I feel that working there really helps me, like with the internship that I have with you guys today, because there was things that like I had no idea, and then now like I'm like, oh yeah, I know how to do this because
Yeah.
I had this opportunity. So that's really exciting that you've been through that, and then I'm
Yeah.
being through it too. So
It's real life.
yes, that's awesome. So before Downtown Wichita, did you have any jobs like in college, like internships related to graphic design, communications?
Yeah, so before I was a student worker in the marketing and comms office, I briefly had an internship at Rainbows United. And that was another really good experience. That's when I think I realized I wanted to do something more in the nonprofit world, and that wherever I worked, I really liked the way my personality is. I really needed to care about it a lot personally and be passionate about it, to be able to do it long term. And I also, prior to that, even and all throughout college and high school, I was a photographer, and I did a lot of freelance work, and specifically in portrait photography. So I did seniors and families and weddings and all that fun stuff. And that was how I kind of started getting into the creative industry, was through photography.
That's awesome. So why do you think Wichita is the right place for communications and art students?
That's a really good question. There's a lot of good reasons. Well, I think one obvious one that hopefully everybody knows about is First Friday, the art crawl that happens once a month. We put together a list, like you mentioned, of all of the galleries and locations that participate. That's just a really great way to see what other creatives are doing, no matter how long they've been doing it. There's people in Wichita who have been like honing their craft for years and years and years, and show their work all over the world. And it would be incredible to learn from them and to see their pieces. And then also First Friday is very accessible to everybody. So there's also people who are kind of just starting out. So you can see someone's work who, maybe years from now, they'll be like kind of famous and doing their own thing. And like, who knows what's, but it's just such a good community event, and it's free most of the time to go to everything. So that's one really big reason. And it's just fun.
Yeah, it's
We used to go all the time when I was in college. I think Wichita is just a really good size and is really growing. And so there's so many opportunities here. There's a lot of amazing creative agencies. We work a ton with Howerton and White. They office right across the street from us. And it's incredible to see what they do and how they do it and walk through that process with them. And there's so many, I mean, that's just one, but there are so many amazing agencies here in Wichita that have opportunities. I just think Wichita is a great place to try different things out and see and kind of follow different passions and see where they take you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that a good answer?
Yeah, it was really good. And I think as like a college student, that's what like I started like realizing too, because when I came here, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about the city, and friends like just they're really good at like letting the students know and everything. And then they told me about when I got here was final Fridays, but now first Fridays. And I used to like be so excited like for the Friday and just go out with my friends, and everything was free, and it was just a really good way to connect and see like really nice art and creative. So yeah, I totally agree with you. And it's not like a huge city, so like what's happening, and you can really like get in contact with someone like with the artist.
Yeah.
I remember sometimes I would just go, and then you just like, oh, you're the one that has like all the cool pieces and stuff, and they're super nice to you. So it's a really, really nice way to connect.
Yeah. Yeah. You made a really good point that I think is what I was trying to say, which is in Wichita, you can really get plugged in and get connected to whatever you want to do. And if you want to know what's going on downtown, follow us and check it out. And yeah, there's so many ways to get involved with whatever you're interested in here.
Awesome. So what advice would you have for high school students? They're like deciding like what path like to follow and like majors and stuff, colleges.
That's a good question too. What advice do I have? I would say, so I'm one of those weird people who kind of always knew for a long time that I wanted to do something creative, that I maybe wanted to do photography or graphic design. But I think the best advice I can give is just to try it out and really practice it, and go get an internship or a student worker position, or just offer to volunteer for a photographer or a designer, or find some way that you can help and actually kind of see what it's like to really do it, because those opportunities were massive for me and really changed kind of the course of where my career was heading. Because originally I was thinking photography, but then when I really started getting into it, I realized that I loved graphic design, and then that was what I wanted to do every day. So I think my best advice, and I mean for creatives especially, but also just for anybody in high school or college, is if you have something you're interested in, go try it out. Mm-hmm. And I think it'll naturally progress from there towards what you're passionate about.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was really good, because when I started college, I was kind of going for like international business, which was like most international students did. And I was like, and then I talked to Karen, and I really liked taking pictures, and then she really liked it. And then I got a scholarship through fine arts and everything. And I just like started it, and I started taking some classes, and I definitely like fell in love with graphic design and photography and videography, and I changed it, and I had no idea. And it's really good that you can start with like gen eds and then just take some classes and just try it out, and then you're gonna find what you're passionate about. So yeah, and I really like to communications, because I had like a little bit of everything. I had video, I had graphic design and photography, and you can kind of like have a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was really good to just try it out and see.
Yeah, that's a good thing about Friends, I think, is you can try, you have to take like a 101 of everything. So you paint and you draw and you do pottery, which I'm terrible at, and but it was still a really good experience.
Yeah.
That is so funny that you started out. Are you still doing international business, or are
No,
you full
I didn't.
communications now?
Yeah, I was going to, and then I changed it like right away because I just I just
That's so
really like,
funny.
yeah, I have a minor in business. I have a minor in business and a minor in marketing, and I took some classes in marketing too, and I was like, wow, I really like marketing. And then I'm getting my minor in marketing, but I just really liked visual communications because I really like graphic design and I really like photography, and it was just a way to like do both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you doing anything else.
Yeah.
It's so funny. You're so good at it.
Yeah, thank you. So everything just worked out. So what advice do you have for like college students like me that are about to graduate and try to find jobs and where to go next?
Yeah. Ooh. Hmm. Well, I mean, definitely what I said earlier about internships and really trying it out first, because I think everything's probably a little bit different than what you might expect, and you might like something more or something less than you thought. Like me with photography and graphic design. I think also, I'm sure that as a senior, you hear this all the time, but your portfolio is crazy important, and there cannot be any mistakes in that thing. There cannot. Like, there are some people who will look at it and see a mistake and just be like, nope, there cannot be anything, any misspellings or anything like that. Like, the work is important, but also just the presentation of all of it is a huge deal. And I know that used to really stress me out when I would hear that, and I would be like, everybody stop talking about portfolios. I know it's important, but it really is. And it should be fun, you know? I think for a long time, I had a hard time with it too, because I was trying to make it what I thought everybody wanted it to be. And then when I took a step back, I was like, oh, this is really just for you to get to know me as a person. And if you think I would be a good fit. And when I changed it to match my personality, when I made my logo like floral and it looked like me, and I used the pieces I'd really done at Friends and focused on those. And I think it really helped with the position I have now when I was interviewing, for them to see and really kind of like get to know me as a human while we were talking about them. They could see that I really cared and that I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I'm really glad that you mentioned the portfolio part because I didn't think about it, and that's a really like concern that we all have, like everybody that is graduating. And Jenny, she's always like, we just took like a portfolio class, and then she's always like really pushing us to like go and think about it, because that's how she's really worried about us, because she wants us to have like it prepared because we're all like graduating. So I'm really thankful that she's there to like help us out because it's really stressful.
It's stressful.
Yes.
It is. It's a lot.
So let's go through our next question. The last one, I'm sad, but yeah. So if you could compare yourself with any animal, which one would you pick and why?
An animal. Well, I mean, as you know from seeing my desk, I'm a major cat lady. I don't know if I would compare myself with a cat though. Maybe a cat.
Yeah, I would be a cat.
Definitely like a lazy house cat though, like for sure.
A lazy one.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for letting me interview you. I had a really great time, and I think a lot of people are gonna really be happy of the stuff that we talked about, because high schoolers and college students, we always have like questions, and I hope that helps.
Good. I hope so too.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye.